Hello, I'm Nicole Riney with Oak Harvest Financial Group. I want to talk about a question that's on the minds of many of my clients. What happens to all my money and assets after I die? It's not easy to think about our own mortality, and discussing it can feel uncomfortable. But planning ahead is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself and your loved ones. In this video, we'll walk through what actually happens to your money and belongings when you pass away, and how you can make that process easier on your family. Thinking about what happens after we're gone can stir up a lot of emotions. You might worry about leaving behind confusion or a burden, but my goal today is to explain the process in simple, plain language so we know what to expect and how to prepare. We'll cover the basics of the probate process, how different assets like your bank accounts, your house, your retirement accounts, and personal items are all handled, and why many people choose to avoid probate if possible. Most importantly, we'll explore ways you can plan ahead to give yourself and your family peace of mind. When a person dies, if they don't have a will, or if they only have a will, their estate, which is just a term for everything you own, usually has to go through something called probate. Probate is the legal process of settling an estate, where a judge is involved in making sure any debts or taxes are paid and any remaining assets are then transferred to the rightful heirs. In simpler terms, probate is how the courts help wrap up someone's financial affairs after they're gone. The process involves validating the will, if there is one, identifying the assets and debts, paying all those bills and taxes, and finally, then distributing what's left to the heirs. This takes time. Often many months, sometimes years. During that period, your assets are typically frozen and can't be accessed right away. Probate also makes your estate a matter of public record, and it has costs, often 3 to 7% of the estate's value in fees. So for families, that can mean delays, expenses, and a lack of privacy at a time that they're already grieving and vulnerable. However, not every type of asset is treated the same way after death. Bank accounts that are only in your name are usually frozen until probate is finished, unless you've named a payable on death beneficiary. Homes and real estate, well, that depends on how they're titled. A house owned jointly with your spouse usually passes directly to them, while one owned only in your name may have to go through probate. Retirement accounts and life insurance policies usually work differently because they allow you to name beneficiaries, and those funds pass directly to the people you listed, skipping probate entirely. So it's important to ensure your designations are up to date. Personal property like jewelry, vehicles, heirlooms, those, on the other hand, generally must pass through probate, unless you've specifically addressed those items via the use of a trust. Probate is kind of the default if you haven't done anything to prepare, but it has real drawbacks. It's slow, it costs money, it's public, it's time-consuming, and it can add stress to an already grieving family. That's why many people take steps to avoid it. The good news is there are straightforward ways to do so. The easiest and best way to avoid probate is to simply name a beneficiary. This works on retirement accounts and insurance accounts, but bank accounts and non-qualified brokerage accounts, they allow you to name a payable on death, POD, or transfer on death, same thing, TOD, act the same way. Some states also allow you to name a POD or TOD on your home or vehicles. This acts in essentially the same manner as a beneficiary form and allows the ownership of that asset to transfer without having to go through probate. Joint ownership is another strategy, for example. Assets owned jointly with rights of survivorship automatically transfer to the surviving owner. Each of these methods can save your family time, money, and stress. Another, more complex way to bypass probate is to create a living or revocable trust. A revocable living trust requires an attorney to set up, which comes with its own expenses. But placing your assets in the name of a trust allows you full control of those assets during your lifetime. And when you pass, the assets transfer directly to the trust beneficiaries without having to go through probate. And there are many types of trusts, so it's very important to consult with an attorney before determining which type will be best for you. Talking about wills and trusts and death is emotional, but planning for these things is actually quite empowering. When you take steps to get your affairs in order, you gain peace of mind, knowing your loved ones will be taken care of and spared unnecessary hardship. You're leaving them one last loving gift, the gift of an easy transition. Imagine the difference between a family waiting months for access to frozen accounts versus a family able to cover expenses and receive assets immediately. By planning ahead, you can choose the second scenario for those you love. Planning for what happens after you're gone doesn't hasten the day. Instead, it ensures that when that day does come, your family's protected. Avoiding probate isn't just about saving money or time, it's about efficiency. It's one less burden for your spouse, children, or other heirs to carry during a difficult time. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's normal. You don't have to figure it all out on your own. At Oak Harvest Financial Group, we specialize in helping people create a personalized plan for exactly these situations. We can help you decide if a revocable living trust makes sense, or ensure your beneficiary designations are updated, and explore other strategies to make things easier on your family. Our goal is simple: to help protect your loved ones and give you peace of mind. So I encourage you to reach out to us. Let's talk about your specific situation, your family, your assets, your wishes. We'll work with you to create a plan that allows you to enjoy today, knowing tomorrow is taken care of. Planning for after you're gone is a really important way to show love to your family and friends. Love for the people who will carry on your memory. By making a plan, you're showing them that you thought about them and you tried to make this transition as pain-free as possible. This, in a sense, is your final act of love toward them. Maybe the last thing you can ever do for them. Thank you for watching, and whenever you're ready, call Oak Harvest Financial Group. Together, we can create a plan that lets you rest easy about the future of your money, your assets, and most importantly, the well-being of your family.